And welcome back, folks. Welcome back to Open Forum every Saturday on 103.5 FM in Houston, Texas, USA, and the world. And I emphasize world because what we're going to talk about today, about a gentleman in the world who basically changed the world, in my opinion.
Yes.
You know, some people in ignorance called him the Indian fakir. But most of the world, in reverence, called him the Mahatma. And we're talking about Mahatma Gandhi today. Welcome to Open Forum, 103.5 FM in the studio. This is the full house studio today. All our hosts, past ghosts are gone. All the hosts are here now. Smriti, welcome back to your own show.
Thank you. I know it's been a while.
Thank you for coming back. Smriti has traveled the world. She's finally back in Houston. And my friend Dinkar is here. Thank you, Dinkar, for coming in. Jagat Kamdar had a short stint of a vacation for a month. We missed you, Jagat. And he's back again. My name is Subodh. And I thank Ramesh and Nick Nikam, who had helped me while we were away. And Fennel Shah, who does the recording. The first hour is going to be recorded. And then it'll be put all over the world and people can listen to us. Welcome to Open Forum. A very important and an interesting program today. We're going to be talking about a gentleman who changed the world, in my opinion.
So both we got to do one thing before we go.
I'm not going anywhere.
No.
Before
we have to tell our Parsi friend Happy Navroz.
Happy Navroz to all our Parsi friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Yes.
Ramesh Anand's wife, right? She
Yes.
is.
Yes. Yeah.
That is amazing. Now maybe I'll get invited to someone's house for dinner. So far no one has invited me. So happy Navroz to all the Parsi friends and
Yes.
everyone else who celebrates it.
Absolutely.
In Bombay we all used to
Yes.
celebrate it. But we're going to talk about Mahatma Gandhi and we've done this show many times on Open Forum, but today's show is very, very significant in the sense that we're going to be talking about a museum that has been a dream of a lot of folks in this town who had initially started Mahatma Gandhi Library. And I'm talking about Mr. Atul Kothari and others. And I'll let you introduce the others who were very instrumental in being with you and making sure that library's dream became a museum of one of its kind in United States of America. Eternal Gandhi Museum in Houston is the only museum dedicated to Mahatma Gandhi in the country. So I want to congratulate your entire board. And in the studio we have Mr. Atul Kothari, Dr. Nadir Shah, and Dr.
Ali.
Nadir Ali. I'm sorry, I called you. आपको शाह भी बना दिया मैंने. शाह तो होते हैं जो शहंशाह होते हैं भाई. आपको बना दिया मैंने. Dr. Nadir Ali and Dr. Manish Wani, he's on his way.
Shortly.
He's probably listening to us. So hello, sir. How are you doing? And again, welcome to Open Forum.
Thank you so much, Subodh, for having us today. We are happy to make the great announcement that the Eternal Gandhi Museum Houston is now open to the public. It is the only freestanding museum in all of Americas dedicated to Mahatma Gandhi to preserve and promote his everlasting legacy of non-violent conflict resolution. So thank you so much for having us again, and we'd like to share with your listeners all the great news and other things that are going on.
And again, just to bring people up to speed, there are a lot of people besides Atul Kothari who were instrumental in, if you just want to, they may be
Sure.
listening to
Name
us,
a
it'll be
few.
nice
Yeah.
to...
So our board of directors consists of 9 trustees. That is Dr. Manish Wani, Devinder Mahajan, Sanjay Jain, G.V. Krishnan. Then we have Ajit Paralkar, Namita Sutaria. I hope I'm not Dr. Barkat Charanya. Okay. And besides that, we have a team of volunteers, probably into 100 or so, that has made
Wow.
this dream come true. And most importantly, I want to thank the Almighty, without whose grace none of this would have been possible.
Fantastic. And initially, Mr. Kothari, you had a library dedicated to Mahatma Gandhi, which probably will transfer into the museum. Give us a little idea of how that library actually came into existence.
So both you have upgraded me from Atul to Mr. Kothari. Thank you so much.
Sometimes I do that.
Yeah, the organization was formed almost 21 years ago in 2002. and it was called Mahatma Gandhi Library at the time.
Yeah.
Our simple objective at the time was to conduct the contest for school-going children in the area of essay, speech, multimedia, and poster. All we wanted to do was to reach out to the young youth and let them know about Mahatma Gandhi and his legacy, and with that we started on that endeavor. And then one thing led to another, and I'll go into the more history as we go along. But Dr. Nadir Ali has just recently joined the museum crowd. And Dr. Nadir Ali, would you like to share with everyone your experience, your visit to the museum, and then what happened?
Welcome to Open Forum, Dr. Nadir Ali. We've seen each other several times. Never really connected the way we're going to connect today. And so, yes, I understand you're going to be doing an event in the future, but I also understand you did an event earlier on. Tell us about how did you get involved with Mahatma Gandhi? What was Mahatma Gandhi for you in your life? What was the significance of?
And what drove you to be a part of this cause and like go with this?
Sure. First, I like my upgraded name, Nadir Shah.
Nadir Shah Ali. Sorry about that.
But before I get into any of this, I'm just beginning to be a part of Gandhi Museum, but I'd like to acknowledge that Atul Bhai, Atul Kothari, Shesh Bala, G.V. Krishna, and Manish Wani have dedicated 20 years or 25 years of their life to give such a great grand gift to the Houston community and to the world to bring about Bapu's message. And when I went to the museum to visit it when it was under construction, it was just a transformational experience. I was in awe of the caliber and the quality of the mission and the message of Bapu as how it is interactive and that you can really get immersed into it. And I was just really inspired and transformed, and it is better than any mosque, church, temple. When you go there, you get a sense that this is a place of purpose to bring people together. And because of that inspiration, I'd like to be a volunteer, and I have found a newfound purpose in life that I'm really grateful for.
No, Dr. Nadir, that is very humble of you to say that, but thank you so much for coming on board. And the museum is really, really thankful to you for all that you have done. Because one of the things that I would like to add to what Nadir Bhai just said is that seeing is believing it. Trust me.
Yeah.
No matter how much I speak on the program here, no matter how many videos I can show you, but there is nothing like being there. So I request your listeners, and of course every one of you, to please come and visit and experience for yourself. This is a state-of-the-art, world-class museum that you will be proud of, that Houston has as part of its cultural scene.
Yeah, would you let us also know like when it's open, the hours it's open, and for the general public, what are the visiting hours, when they can come?
Sure. We open on August 15th, the 77th anniversary of India's independence. And the museum is open Monday through Wednesday, 10 to 5, Thursday, 10 to 7, Friday, Saturday, 10 to 5, and on Sunday from 12 noon to 5 p.m.
That's great. I think what you're saying, visual is really a very different experience, and I think you feel a part of it when you go visit, and it's such a legacy for Houston, too, to have this, right? So what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think the location itself, isn't it on Sam Houston when you're flying, coming back into Sugar Land from the airport? I think on the right-hand side I saw it.
Correct.
I just kind of went back, boom, like that. But what's the exact location there?
The exact location is 12379 Riceville School Road at Beltway 8 South. So if you are traveling to downtown from Sugar Land, you make a right at Beltway 8 to go to Hobby Airport. The first exit is West Airport Boulevard. You make a left there, and the first street after that is Riceville School Road. There you make a right on the feeder. You can't miss it.
You cannot miss it. So can you describe Atul Bhai? So now I became from Mr. Kothari to Atul Bhai now.
I feel more comfortable now.
So Atul Bhai, tell me, what can one experience as soon as the person comes? Are there tickets to get inside? Is there parking fee? Is it free parking? And as you walk in, I did hear Nadir Bhai saying that it's very interactive. So give us a description, because I'd like parents out there to take their children to a museum of such sorts where it's interactive and you learn so much about Mahatma Gandhi and his principles.
Now let's begin with the free part. The
Sure.
parking is free.
I like it. We are Desi people. We like free parking.
And children under 5, the entry is free.
Very good.
For adults, it's $15. For seniors, $12. For a group of 10 or more, $10. Okay. And as you enter, the site itself is 3 acres.
Oh,
On which the building is 12,800 square feet.
pretty good.
It has been designed on the concept of a charkha, okay, in a kind of circular fashion. And that you'll see in the courtyard, that is the larger than life-size portraits of Marit Corrigan, Dr. King, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Lech
Yeah,
Walesa,
but-
and Betty Williams.
That's
Yes.
that's in the
In the
it's-
courtyard.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
And we also have in the courtyard a statue donated of Mahatma Gandhi, donated by the government of India.
Yes.
And guess what? Of all the 6 figures, everyone is a Nobel Peace Prize winner except Mahatma Gandhi, and they all followed in the footsteps of Mahatma Gandhi.
That is amazing.
So we want to show
Perfect.
through that courtyard the universality of his philosophy in terms of it has been practiced in Europe, it has been practiced in Africa, it has been practiced by men, it has been practiced by women, it has been practiced by whites, it has been practiced by African Americans. It's a universe philosophy, and that's the concept we want to get across to the visitor as they first enter the museum. Go ahead, Smith.
Great. Dr. Nadir Ali, would you like to tell us a little bit about when you volunteer there and you go there? So tell us how other people can volunteer, or what you felt when you did it, and are there any programs or any group things that you are suggesting or you're planning to do an event which will gather a lot of people and it'll bring people together?
There are so many such programs, but I'll just get into one and I'll let Atul Bhai and Manish explain the others. The one program that I'm involved in, which is called Paddle for Peace. So this is a Gandhi Museum Bicycle Club. And the Bicycle Club is initiated recently. We had our first ride on August the 6th, in which 38 different people from all different backgrounds came in, and we did a beautiful ride around Sugarland. And Sugarland is one of the prettiest parts of the country to ride in. Lots of tree canopy, 2-lane roads, very minimal traffic on Sunday morning. And it also keeps with the message of Mahatma in the sense that we are sustainable in terms of energy use, in terms of our health, in terms of, I think that riding a bicycle means that you are for peace. So the Bicycle Club is going to meet every month, the first Sunday of the month, and the timing is going to be very variable based on the daylight saving time.
Not too
Okay.
early, I hope. Not too early. हम लोग सोने वाले बंदे हैं.
Yeah, 7 o'clock last time, but now
Registration,
7:30
yeah.
in September because it becomes light a little later.
Right.
It's every Saturday, you said? Or every
The
Sunday?
first Sunday of the month.
First
That's
Sunday.
once. Okay.
So, and it's
That's not
the
bad.
event is listed on egmh.org. If you go to the event page, you can see that it's listed. You can sign up and you can be a part of the ride. Now, this is a free ride.
Yeah,
you
that's a club.
you just get the ride.
Yeah.
But on Bapu's
So,
birthday,
going back to that, a lot of people who listen, they may not be professional riders like some are. You guys, some of y'all I see with gears that you buy for thousands of dollars. Are we talking of casual bike riders here? Or are we talking of someone like you who's, really got a bike that could be as costly
And
as
I
a
know
car?
that's a passion for you.
No, but
too.
that is, yeah.
I mean, and
so this is really designed for newbie and intermediate riders.
Right.
Then I'm in.
So,
Right.
you get any bike you want, and we want you to get introduced into this great activity
right.
that is in keeping with Bapu's message. And, you have children. Last time there was a child who was 8 years of age who did 16 miles. 11-year-old child did the same.
So that's a 16-mile course? Is that what
It's a 16-mile course and a 33-mile course, so you can do either. And so among the 38 riders, it was evenly split, about 18 and 20. And not only do you get that, but on Bapu's birthday, which happens to be in October, it's going to be a yearly event in which we're going to do the Mahatma Gandhi charity bike ride for the Eternal Gandhi Museum.
Excellent.
I see.
Now, this is a ride in which you pay a small amount that benefits Gandhi Museum. And I think that when you are aligned with the message of Bapu, giving a small amount of your money to the mission is important. And we are looking for not only riders, but volunteers who would want to come and serve the people who are riding.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get a T-shirt that has Bapu's message on it, his picture on it. You can buy a jersey, a cycling jersey, which is an incredibly well-designed jersey. As you know, the wheel of a bike and the crank of the bike resembles a charka.
The charka, that's right.
And so you are being in harmony with nature without using any motors.
Right.
Right.
So that is a big event. We hope that we will have about 250 riders.
That'll be
There's going to be KP George, who's going to inaugurate the bike ride.
Okay.
And I'm really excited, and I find a purpose in life to work on, and I hope that many people will join us.
So when has the bike club already started, you said?
The bike club has already started. It is registered with the League of American Bicyclists. It's got insurance. And the bicycle club has a WhatsApp group. You could join through, you could send us a message and we could put you on.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So you can also buy a jersey. A jersey is available on the egmh.org website.
Right.
It's only $70. Bicycle jerseys are much more expensive. It's got a beautiful picture of the Gandhi Museum. It's got a very nice message of Mahatma. And I'll let Atul Bhai, he just selected that
But
message.
I have one question for you. So I know you said people can sign up for the bike ride and then they can get onto the WhatsApp. What number or where can they reach you, or is it a website that they can reach and you will add them onto the thing? And this is for the general public who's hearing that.
Yes, they can message us through the website and we can immediately add them on. But the annual bike ride and the monthly bike rides are both listed on egmh.org webpage. So you can go and sign up for either right now, and the more people that sign up, the better I'm going to feel.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, excellent.
And just to add to that, Nadir Bhai organized the ride takes place on the first Sunday of every month, and he just managed to bring in more than 40 riders for the
Great. That's
first
awesome.
ride that we had. So
Yeah.
Mm.
thank you so much, Nadir
Yeah, I know,
Bhai.
and I've known Dr. Nadir Ali for quite a while, and I know how passionate he is about the bike
Yes,
rides.
he's an
And
avid-
he's a pretty fit person who's
Yeah,
like just...
and just for all the bike riders, just to again remind, it's going to be on October the 8th, right?
Correct.
Starting from University of Houston in Sugar Land, and it could be that's going to be a 16-mile or a 33, or you can choose either one.
So that particular ride is 20 and 40 miles.
20 and 40,
20
okay.
for people who want to not go that long a distance, and 40 miles. And that one ride starts at University of Houston because there's plenty of place to park.
Right.
There will be Trek Bicycle who will have their bicycle repair stand at the start point and at the intermediate rest stop, which is at Baines Middle School.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supported by a few sponsors. We are also looking for sponsors. Just imagine that there is a business in Houston who wants to have their name that says Pedal for Peace bike ride that is sponsored by a certain organization. Let's say Kia of Houston,
Right.
or whatever organization. So we're looking for a major sponsor, and I hope that this open forum will bring us a sponsor.
Fantastic. What about people who are novices? They may have ridden a bike long ago and they want to get some guidance. Do you all have someone out there who can guide them and say, hey, look, you want to be part of the club? This is the kind of a bike you should buy. First of all, welcome Dr. Wani. Manish Bhai, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, great.
Good
Great to
seeing
be
you.
here.
Good seeing you. You're hopping from radio station to radio station. I like the dedication out there. But finally you found the right home.
I did.
This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the place, dude. So, are you the point person who can ask and say, Manish, what kind of a bike should a novice buy? He knows how to ride a bike, but he's not possessed a bike for a while. I'm looking at myself.
Oh, yeah.
How would I say?
I'm in that same boat,
You are,
okay?
okay.
So,
To answer that question, Subodh, we have multiple LCI, which is licensed certified instructors
Wow.
for the
Okay.
bikers. And on every first Sunday of the month, when they come to ride, they'll be given orientation by these LCIs. So they'll be all ready, and plus also they'll be put in a slower group where there'll be a person who will be leading the group as well as a person at the end who's called sweeper, if I'm correct, Nadir, right? Who will take care of them and will make sure that they enjoy the ride and all the safety precautions.
I think this is very exciting. It's exciting not just for the Mahatma Gandhi Museum, but it's also exciting for people who want to get out and start exercising. It's at the back of the mind. Now we can actually bring it out and say, help me get a bike, help me join your group, help me help others. That's a great message. Folks, you're listening to Open Forum. We have Mr. Atul Kothari, Dr. Manish, Wani, and Dr. Nadir Ali in the studio. We're talking about the Eternal Museum, the Gandhi Museum, the one of its kind in the United States of America. I'd like to throw this question out to either one. Which is Gandhiji had many quotes that have become very famous in the world. Atul Bhai, I'll start with you. What's the one quote that really strikes you and say, this is how my life principle is going to be?
The quote that appeals to me, and the museum is built around that, in a gentle way, you can shake the world.
Okay.
Because what happened is when we started on this museum journey back in 2016, we were very lucky to hire Solid Light Inc., which is a turnkey museum build and design firm out of Louisville, Kentucky. And then they suggested that we build the museum around that theme. And when you come to visit the museum, you'll see this quote shown very prominently throughout the museum.
It's amazing you use that, because that's the one I use to post today's program on Facebook. In a general way, you can shake the world. So I'm glad.
Great mind thinks alike.
I think you're greater, though. Yeah, definitely. What about you, Nadir? What do you think?
So I like the one that in which Mahatma Bapu says that an eye for an eye will make the whole world blind. And I think in this completely polarized world, it is something that, should bring us together and put us together. And it's a nice message of peace and harmony. So
what do you think? That's a beautiful one, too. Yeah.
I'll go with be the change you wish to see.
Yeah.
And Subodh, as we can talk about, the museum is divided into 3 galleries. And the last one is called My Journey. And so after learning about Mahatma Gandhi's life, about the people that followed in his footsteps, people like Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Lech Walesa, they used nonviolent conflict resolutions to create a profound change. But after you learn all this in the museum, you go enter the 3rd gallery, which is called My Journey. And it's a very self-reflective exhibition, interactive, where you can sort of decide what it is that I can do to make a change in this world.
And let me share with you,
Yeah.
recently a very young man, perhaps my guess is 8 to 10 years old young man, had visited the museum, and he goes to this My Journey section, and the My Journey section gives you options. I want to use less electricity, I want to do recycle, whatever. Guess what? He said, I want to decide on my own. Okay, go ahead, because that option is also there. And I was stunned at what he said. I like to be like Gandhi.
Wow. Wow, that is
That's a
amazing.
pretty powerful message.
That was
amazing.
simply amazing.
Simple, but yet very.
What? Just to educate a lot of people who are younger, much younger, and do not know or understand Mahatma Gandhi. What were the principles that he lived by, that he had so much following in the world, that he got a reverence by being called a Mahatma?
Yeah, as we mentioned to you, it's a highly interactive museum, and it starts as Manish Bhai said, it is divided into 3 sections. His journey, how he transformed himself from a child of fear to a man of freedom. Next is our journey, the leaders that Manish Bhai mentioned followed in his footsteps, and then the My Journey. In the Our Journey section, there is the early life regarding how Gandhiji's basic principles were established through Raja Harishchandra, Lord Rama, and confessing to his mistakes to his father, although they were very grave mistakes, how he formed his character, and then how he became an attorney, how he went to South Africa, and then, which was a seminal moment which the whole world knows about, is when he was thrown off the train from a first-class compartment because he was not white. he had to make a decision that night whether to go back to India, put up with this himself, or take a stand. And he took a stand. Did he know at that time that he was going to become a Mahatma or become a world leader? No. He did it because it needed to be done. So that's the message we want to pass on to every visitor when they come through the interactive exhibits and other thing. Another exhibit which is there, which is the Salt March, which has changed the course of the human destiny forever. It is the first time in human history when a largest empire the world has ever known gave freedom to India without firing a single shot. And he showed to the world how you can tackle violence with a non-violence. And then since then, Dr. King, Nelson Mandela, others have followed into footsteps and brought about massive social change in the world. So this is an event, Salt Satyagraha, that shows in 1930 when he was named Man of the Year by the Time magazine. But that was the start of the melting of the heart of the opposition. That was the British ruler. And 17 years later, they left India without firing a single shot.
So that, and I'll add to that, you know what, we call it the train, that was his train moment. And we want our visitors to find out what is their train moment. And this is 60 years before Rosa Parks. Everybody knows about Rosa Parks and how she had to get off the bus. He was thrown off the train despite having a first-class ticket. And the other little-known fact is 2 days later, he was actually on a stagecoach, and he was asked to go. He couldn't sit where everybody else was sitting. He had to sit with the driver, and he refused to do so. And he was beaten up and thrown off of the stagecoach. So this was his train moment, and that's where we want the visitors to find out. You know, when you're at Crossroads, what are you going to do? And he's not the first person that ever faced discrimination. People in South Africa were they just accepted it and moved on because it was a means to their ends. But he actually decided to make a stance.
What about you, Nadir Ali? Anything stands out in all the principles that Mahatma Gandhi propagated, which helps you in life, day-to-day life?
Oh, yes. I have always looked up to Bapu for inspiration and message, but what I wanted to add to this was that the other world leaders are so nicely shown in the museum, including the newer ones like Greta Thunberg, Malala Yousafzai. So it's a message that is not only for people of mine and older generation, but also for the youth. And I think it's very transformational from that standpoint.
Fantastic. You know, recently a school was named after Sonal Butcher Elementary School. So when you enter that school, as you walk into the school, you will see there's a big, there's a painting of Sonal. And underneath that painting, because I think she lived by the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi, which I'm going to read, she said, and because of him, she wrote this, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others, which I know Sonal did a lot for the county, and she used that quote as a guiding principle. And I think someone in the school district picked that up and put that under her picture out there. And I thought that is so apt because that's exactly what she did. So I think a lot of principles, a lot of quotes that we see of Mahatma Gandhi is what we all live by, but we don't realize it. We do not realize it, but we just take it for granted that, okay, this is what we need to do. Subconsciously, we read these things, and hopefully, with God's help, we keep doing that. Folks, you're listening to Open Forum. We have Mr. Atul Kothari, Dr. Manish, Wani, and we have Dr. Nadir Ali in the studio.
May I make an acknowledgement at this time, Subodh, if you don't mind? Jakad invited me for the first time when we formed the Mahatma Gandhi Library back in 2002, and this was the first radio station on which we had shared the news of the organization to the Houston community. Second one, talking of Sonal Band, without her, we would not have gone citywide like we did in 2006 when she approached the mayor. At that time, the mayor was Mayor Bill White. And if you remember, we did the 1,000 Lives for Peace celebration on the steps of the City Hall for the first time and perhaps the last time in the city of Houston's known history. A march was allowed from the Gandhi statue in the Harman Park to the City Hall because it had to cross 3 railroad crossings. But courtesy of Sonal Band, that event did take place, and we became very well known all over Houston.
Wow.
So thank you again and
amazing.
again for all your contributions to this
Well,
organization.
I mean, again, it's the inspiration of one person, Mahatma Gandhi, that does a lot for the rest of the world. So we are indeed, grateful to all the principles that have been taught to us. Non-violence is one of those things that if everybody can embrace that in the world, can you imagine where we would be today? And we still have to learn a lot about that. The pockets of the world, there are so many pockets where people are just killing each other for no reason, and it's devastating.
And I'd add to that, the entry to the museum, the first gallery, it's called Humanities Challenges.
Yes.
And that's where we display what kind of conflicts are going on in the world. And we define what is peace, what is nonviolence, what is truth. These are the principles that we can use to combat these calamities that are going around worldwide.
And one of the things about Mahatma Gandhi was religion. There were no barriers. It was all amalgamated. Everything was one religion for him. Hence, a museum like this, it has no barriers. I mean, everybody is invited out there to come and learn, if that's the right word, should I say? Right?
Yeah, I mean, Gandhi was a universal person, right? He was born Vaishnava Hindu, but he was a man that knew all the religions and didn't really claim himself to be in any.
Right. And moving on to some fun things that you guys have been planning, let's talk about the charity golf tournament. Who's in charge of this one?
All right, I'll take this one.
I just shifted my, bicycle here, golf out there.
Yeah.
Tell us about that one.
So, we were so happy that Nadir took up the bike thing because we have no idea. I have no idea about the bike. But this is going to be our second annual charity golf tournament. This was last year. We had it very successful. We had 80 players. It was a beautiful afternoon in October. And we call this Swing for Peace. The weather was fantastic in October. This is October 9th, so it's the day after you do the bike ride. Then you can ride in a cart and hit a little ball.
It's the next day.
And it's by October it should be much cooler. It's at Willow Fork Country Club, which is in Katy, Texas, on Westheimer Parkway. It's a 4-person scramble. So what that means, it's best ball for the people that are golfers out there. And we invite golfers, non-golfers, anybody and everybody to come out there and support the cause.
Stop at that, non-golfers. And that's why my friends always call me for the 4-man scramble, because they know I'm the worst. I play cricket. I'm a cricketer. It's about the 6th hole I can actually hit the ball, because my eye-hand coordination gets better at that time. It's too late by the time the game is almost over, right? But I think that's a great thing. Non-golfers would love this, because when I go and play and I swing, I'm laughing half the time because I'm still learning, and the other 3 guys actually score for me.
Same boat too.
You too? Well,
the best,
sign her up.
All right,
but don't put us on the same team, please.
Well, the best golfers are actually baseball players or cricketers. I mean, it is that natural golf swing that they have. But it's just a fun tournament, and we'll have. There's tournaments within the tournament where we'll have longest drive, closest to the pin. We'll have first, second, and third place winners. We may have a somewhat of a celebrity out there this year. People that grew up with the Astros in the '90s. Mr. Shane Reynolds. He was the pitcher for the Astros back then. He's going to come and attend the golf tournament. So we're very looking forward to it. And it again, a great way to learn about the museum, hang out with folks. It's a fun afternoon.
How many people do you expect? How many golfers do you expect that day?
Well, it's an 18-hole golf course. It's a shotgun start. Last year we had about 75 players.
That makes sense,
so we can accommodate up to 80 to 85 players.
I mean, that'll max out on your time also. Fantastic. You do all these obviously to collect funds, right? Tell us about the funding system that has created this entity, because it's not easy to have a structure of such a beautiful, nature without funding. Tell us, how do you fund this, and what's your future?
Before I go there, if I may add,
yes, sir,
that all those who participate in golf tournament or paddle for peace bike ride, they'll get a free pass to the museum for the visit to the museum.
Look at that.
Oh,
all right.
That's a wonderful
Dinkar is already signing up. I don't know where
Yeah, in terms of the finances, the total project cost is $13 million.
Oh, wow.
Of that, $3 million is for endowment fund
Okay.
to pay for his operating expenses into perpetuity. $10 million is the actual construction cost, of which we have raised $8 million, and we are trying to raise the remaining $2 million.
Excellent.
One of the typical sources of funding are the foundations, the government, the individuals, and so on and so forth. And we are very fortunate that all three sources have contributed very significantly to the project. The first supporter came on board was the Houston Endowment. I mean, they literally took a leap of faith on our project, and they have to date contributed $750,000 to the project.
That's fantastic.
Next was, I want to thank Congressman Al Green, who has managed a $3 million grant to the museum through what is called community project funding under the Housing and Urban Development Department of the U.S. government. Our own KP George and his commissioner's court has made a grant of $475,000 to the museum. And of course, the rest of the money has come from other foundations and the individuals just like you and me.
Well, congratulations. That is amazing. And of course, it's an ongoing thing because you still have a $2 million debt that you're going to, rest hopefully soon. And then the $3 million for it to last forever and ever and ever. So that's a. And what was this time span we are thinking of? This happened in the last 4 years, 3 years, 2 years. What was it?
Yeah, let me give you a little background. We had no plans ever of building a museum because Gandhiji himself has said, if you build something, very difficult to maintain. But in 2006, I had taken my family to India to give them the background where we come from. And there, of course, I wanted to go and pay respects to my hero, Mahatma Gandhi. And I went to the Gandhi Smriti Bhavan, which used to be Birla's bungalow, where he was assassinated. And I wanted to explore every nook and corner. And I go up on the second floor there, and there I see this Atul Gandhi Multimedia Museum developed by the Birlas. And they had used the latest and greatest technology at the time to develop that museum, and they explained the principles that Mahatma Gandhi used to get freedom for India. And I said, wow, this is the way to connect to the next generation if you want to communicate these ideas. So we started a collaboration with them in terms of buying the souvenirs, their world-class souvenirs, and so on and so forth. And from that time onwards, every time I would go back to India, I would go and meet with the Bharatbhai Parekh, who was the president of the organization at the time. And in 2016, we had purchased 1 acre of land in Stafford. We have in our possession Gandhi Darshan, or Glimpses of Gandhi exhibition, and then more than 116 countries have published stamp in the name of Mahatma Gandhi. So they will make a small museum and have school children start coming there. So as I was describing this plan to Bharat Bhai in Mumbai, I could not believe, sitting across the desk just like we are sitting right now, he said, Atul Bhai, would you like to have Atul Gandhi Multimedia Museum? I said, Bharat, are you serious? These are Birlas without due diligence or anything. They are just asking me across the table. I said, I have never raised money in my life, so let me go back and talk to the board of trustees. When I came here, without a moment of hesitation, the board said, go ahead and go for it. Okay? So that's how the museum idea started. However, those exhibits now are very old and they cannot connect to the US audience here. So the museum consultant that we had hired, he said right off the bat, this won't work here. So this is a brand new spanking museum, developed from scratch. And
that is amazing.
And please come and visit.
That is amazing. Smriti, I know you haven't gone, and I'm ashamed to say I haven't been there, but then it just opened 3 days ago.
Correct.
So we are not that bad then.
Tuesday, August 15th. That's when it opened.
You can't forget that one. So I would encourage everybody out there with your children, family, grandmother, neighbors, whoever who can go there. It's a nominal fee. It's not too much. Do you have a cafeteria there? Or you don't? Not yet.
Not yet.
Because you start having a lot of people coming on the weekend.
There is a McDonald's very nearby.
There you go.
But believe it or not, the other thing we may not talk about enough, we have a world-class gift shop there. And that gift shop, we contracted that out, and it's highly impressive, the souvenirs and the gifts that are there. And the people that have thus far visited have spent a lot of time in that souvenir shop, which we're we're very
books
happy
and
about.
stuff out there.
It's books, artifacts, jewelry, T-shirts, caps, you name it. They have.
Manish, you and I, we've known each other for a long time, and you've been on our show several times
Yeah.
talking about Mahatma Gandhi. And at a certain show, I remember your children came with you, and they were really young. And I posed the question, I said, Manish bhai, how much do your children know about Mahatma Gandhi? And I think you said they're just about learning. Where are we at this stage now?
Yeah,
10 years later.
Well, no, this is probably
More than
15
that.
years.
Yeah, could be.
My daughter's now 27 and my son is
yes.
24
Yes,
now.
yes,
So,
yes.
and this is how I got into to the whole Gandhi library is, trying to at that time when they were 4 and 6 figure out we are all at that time trying to figure out what is parenting about.
Yes.
And so reading the autobiography, thanks to Atul bhai who shared it with me, I really figured out, these are the values that I want my kids to learn and to grow up with. And I would tell you, they're wonderful kids, and I'm glad I did what I did, and I think the next generation is very healthy. So I'm very happy about that.
How about you, Nadir bhai? How long have you been following the principles of Gandhi? Is it something for a long, long time? And
I would say ever since I was little, he has inspired me. And when I saw the Gandhi movie, it was just transformational, and I must have watched it about 300 times.
Wow.
But I want to just make an observation here is that I'm a newcomer in this field. I feel even honored to be beside Atul bhai and Dr. Manish Wani, and they have inspired me. And so I have really contributed nothing to the museum so far. And the reason I say this is because anybody who's listening to me, I want them to come to the museum, to become a part of it, to volunteer, to find a purpose in life. And like I said before, it's better than any mosque, any church, any temple. Go there and you will find peace.
fantastic.
What a wonderful message.
Let me
And I know
just-
you were talking about the universality of Gandhi, obviously, and how we want our kids to learn, and the newer generation, which is coming up. It would be a really good idea in my mind. Like, I would think that, we would reach out to schools and colleges, and they do a lot of field
Yeah.
trips, and it's such a good idea for them to learn about it.
Sure, and I can talk about that. When we first started the building of the museum, we hired an education consultant,
Right.
and she was part of the Houston Independent School District.
Right.
And she made sure the museum was based on TEKS, which is Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills.
Right.
And so everything in that museum is based on that. And so our vision is that every child before they graduate high school come visit that museum through a field trip, school-sponsored field trip.
School-sponsored field trip, right.
And so that's there. And
Is
so,
it free for those schools, though?
so we are charging, and if they come by the bus loads, we would think 50
Right.
per bus. It's
Yeah.
$5 per child.
That's
is what
not
a
bad.
child. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not
that's
bad.
prorated,
And-
which is good. And actually, I don't even think it's such a bad idea for the colleges, because
Ye-
there are a lot of students who are from all over the world, right?
Right.
International, and he's so universal. Like,
But this would be a school-sponsored activity, and they would actually get credit for it.
Great.
That is
That's
pricey.
really good.
And there are certain landmarks in Houston that are also on the Houston tour bus or the guided
The guides.
tours. Have you all been
Looked at
approached or looked at that yet?
And we've looked at TripAdvisor. We're on
Okay.
that. We haven't approached, but that's a great idea to approach
So
the.
there are some, and
bus tour.
I think the city of Houston has a
Has a guide.
department.
Yeah, they have
has
a
a
guide,
department
yeah.
that takes care of all that, because some of the mandirs that we have and churches that we have are on that. So I would wonder. This would
No,
be
that's
an
a great
amazing,
idea.
amazing thing because I have a lot of friends who come to Houston and say, "Arey Houston में कुछ भी नहीं है." वो Clear Lake में कोई है उधर ऐसा rocket लगाया हुआ. They say that. I'm like, hell, there's a lot of stuff in Houston. And we have the rodeo. We have so many things going on. Just come at the right moment,
So, if I may share with you,
Yes, sir.
based on what you just said, one of the visitors who came to the museum said, look, besides NASA, we now have this museum.
There you
Great.
go.
We
That's
can
such
take
a
the
good
people
thing
to
to
Oh,
say.
that's a statement to make. Oh, that is amazing.
That was
is amazing. Folks, you're listening to Open Forum. Our number out here is 1-888-749-1035. We have about 18 minutes, probably less than, about 18 minutes. In this segment of the program of Open Forum, the first hour, we're talking about the Gandhi Museum. Why is it called the Eternal Gandhi Museum? Why the word eternal?
It's a great question. We didn't think much about it because the
In India,
they called it Little Gandhi Museum. So, okay, let's keep the same name. It sounds great. But then we thought more about it. The museum is built on the universal values of truth, nonviolence, peace, love, and service. We believe that as long as the human DNA does not change, these values will continue to inspire every human being.
Okay.
And so those are eternal. So that's what we are trying to get across. That basically 2 or 3 things we want to convey to the visitor. Number 1, practice your truth.
Okay.
Practice your truth. Practice your belief, whatever it is. Okay, non-violently.
Yes.
And we ask people to practice the values of truth, non-violence, peace, love, and service. And as you enter the museum, you will see behind the receptionist desk, there is a huge mural of Mahatma Gandhi, of course, digital one. And there it says, Satyamev Jayate. Sanskrit is Satyamev Jayate. Translated in English, truth alone prevails.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
this is a tribute to the truth.
Yeah.
Practice your truth, whatever it is, non-violent.
Let's do one thing. You got your headphones on. We're going to take one of our callers out here. Sir, good afternoon and welcome to Open Forum. How are you doing, Yogi Bhai?
I'm doing great, guys. And first of all, I'd like to congratulate Atul Bhai and all the board of trustees for giving us such a big gift of giving Eternal Gandhi Museum to Houston, and to be the first in the whole country to have one. It's a moment of pride for all of them. And I'd like to congratulate all of them. And I'll be definitely visiting with my son pretty soon, and looking forward to it. So, and from listening to all this, there are so many things a lot of people may not know, but I think I'm glad that you brought all of this to here, and we can all get educated by that. So, thank you very much about that too.
Yes,
So,
yes, sir. Absolutely, Yogi Bhai. I think you make a very good point. You know, you said you're going to take your son. I think a lot of folks now are going to understand that going with families is so important. Youngsters and neighbors, for example. And the idea I would suggest to people who are listening, take your non-Desi neighbors. Take your, folks who may know Gandhiji peripherally, but let's take them deep into the center of what he was thinking. And that's how this world can change.
Sure.
That's what I believe.
And thank you so much, Yogi Bhai, for all the kind comments. But Subodh, yesterday we actually had a busload of, I think, 25 senior citizens. I don't know if he mentioned this or not, but they were from a senior citizens' home, and they visited the museum. Our first 2 visitors were local Houstonians.
Nice.
And I think they heard it on NPR or something in that sort. So, yeah, I mean, again, as we pointed out before, it is universal. This is, of course, the Indians are going to have a special connection, but this is going to be a universal place for people to visit.
And I think a lot of the African American churches, obviously, because of Martin Luther, MLK Jr., they would probably embrace this as one of the Sunday, outings, if that's the right word. Yes, sir, you were going to say?
Yeah, and add to what Manish Bhai just talked about the seniors group that came just the other day. They came right at 10 a.m. at the opening of the museum.
Oh, wow.
They thought they would be done within an hour, and they had lunch reservations at a nearby restaurant at 11:15. Guess what?
Cancelled it.
They were there until 12:30.
My God.
And the organizer came to us and said, look, we had reserved a round table for 9 of us, and it's gone because we could not reach in time. But they were so impressed into the museum.
Yeah.
So
that says it all.
That's it.
That's amazing.
And
That
Yogi
is-
Bhai, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
sure, thank you.
Yeah, and Yogi Bhai, by the way, is a cricketer in Houston who was recently given like one of the biggest awards you can get in the United States for promoting cricket. So this is good. Take your cricketing team out there, my friend.
He must be a fantastic golfer, too.
Yogi Bhai.
Another
I
thing
was
I
looking
want
at
to
the
like
events,
to
and
do
they're all
this
in
is
the
like
first weekend of
say that
October.
again.
So I said I was looking at the events, and both of them happened to be the first weekend of October. Is it like you did it because of Gandhi Jayanti? Like
Yeah, that's the main reason.
That's the
We
main
used
reason
October
you did it that
2nd as our guiding point, and so.
And then is there a special program on the 2nd itself?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Let Yogi finish his. He wanted to make a comment.
I just wanted to say one thing, because the Gandhiji's appeal is so unique. It's not geared towards any one religion or one community. It's a universal message. And what I like to do is I like to take some of my Pakistani friends who I play cricket with a lot of times, and maybe we make an outing there and see that what the real message we get from the peace and love message we want to spread. And I think it will be a good thing if you all can take our friends from other communities to go there with us and have a little more, spread the word of what Gandhiji has spread all his life. So
I think that's a really good thought. And again, via the media, the Facebook, radio, wherever you've gone to NPR, etc., as the word spreads, you guys will need a bigger parking lot. That's what I'm thinking.
And if I may add to Subodh what you're saying, all those listeners who are listening today, when you come to the museum, like Yogi Bhai is going to come,
okay,
and if they say they heard it on the open forum, they'll get a 10% discount.
Hey, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. If 10 people come
Yes.
and they say, we heard y'all on open forum or heard us, they get a 10% discount.
Yeah, also you
and
can
your
buy-
ticket person knows that, right?
Yes, they
or you
know
can
that.
go online and get tickets too?
Yes,
I don't know. Okay.
you can go online also.
And then the promo
you-
code is open forum.
One word, remember, no space
I like
between
that.
open and forum. Open forum, one word, that is your discount code, and you'll get a 10% discount.
Yogi bhai.
thank you.
સાંભળો તમે? Very good.
Family,
job.
bilkul, sorry, bhai. Very good. No, I'm glad to hear that, and thank you very much for this is a unique gift to Easter.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
All
listening.
right, we
And-
look forward to seeing you at the museum.
Yes.
I'll
and,
definitely come.
And call
Definitely.
back again after 5 o'clock. We're going to talk a little bit about cricket.
Okay.
He made a good point. Actually, Smriti did. What is happening on October the 2nd? What are we going to expect?
Yeah, October 2nd is the grand opening where we are having grandson of Mahatma Gandhi come.
Wow.
We also have the
He lives in USA, right?
Yes, he
Yeah,
lives in
does,
Dr.
yeah.
Rajmohan Gandhi.
Yes.
And we also have the nephew of Dr. King, Isaac Newton Ferris Jr., also coming. And of course, Congressman Al Green, and we are expecting a lot of other dignitaries to come too.
Right.
And if anybody listening out there, if you are connected to President Obama, please
Call
reach
him.
out to them
Call him.
and see if we can join. We are trying very hard through
But that
various
would be
channels to
that
reach out
would be
to
a
him.
feather if you can get the ex-president
Yeah.
come in here.
Yeah, but it'll be strictly by invitation because of once you visit the museum,
Yeah.
you'll see we have got very limited space.
Yes.
So
So Smriti is invited. Is that what you're trying to say? You didn't look at me. You looked at her and said that. It's by invitation only. Jagat bhai to miss ho gaya, piche reh gaya. Just a joke. But that's going to be really exciting.
Yes.
That on October 2nd, what a beautiful day to have all these folks come in, especially like Congressman Green. He's been instrumental in
absolutely.
getting some funding, and others, the endowments that you talked about. Those are the folks that can be there on that day, and you guys will be great. I am excited about both the golf and I am also the bike. Definitely, it's easier for me to ride a bike than to play golf because of the nature of the timing.
Yeah.
The golf is an entire. Let's before we go to the next program, I'm going to give you the chance to talk
Okay.
about the golf program, and then we're going to ask Dr. Ali to talk about, and then we'll wrap up with the museum itself.
Yeah, and I'll keep it brief, but it is October 9th. This is a Monday afternoon. It's actually
Monday.
Columbus Day or People's Indigenous Day.
Okay.
So most government institutions, it's a major holiday. Again, we keep it on a Monday because trying to rent a whole golf course on a weekend is
Yeah.
almost impossible.
Okay.
Starts at 1 o'clock. It's a 4-person team scramble. So Subodh, just find yourself a scratch
You know
golfer
what?
and you'll be fine.
Let me. I'm not going to
Manish,
make
they
a
have the team right here.
We're going to put her first.
Right.
I'm going to talk to my brother. They play golf every Monday.
Great.
And I'm going to tell him and Manoj Bhai, and they might throw me in there, and one more guy, maybe Rakesh Vij, and we'll make a foursome and be there.
Great. We'll just go to
Because Monday I do take days off on Monday. That's the right day.
Perfect.
to be there. Perfect. Yeah.
So egmh.org.
And no one promise. No making fun of the guy who plays lefty with a right bat.
Not at all.
Don't do that.
Bring your cricket bat. Why not?
My first shot when I first started playing golf with Manoj and Vinod. My first shot went into the water, and I said, "Dekho, ball ko bhi thandi lagni chahiye. Bahut garmi hai aaj ke din." They're like, "We want to play with you even more."
Right. Well, come early. The range will be open and open to the contestants. We have rented out the whole facility, so it's all ours.
That's amazing. That
yeah,
is amazing.
and so we're very excited about it.
Just text me again, maybe later tonight, and I'll reach out to these guys
For sure.
And so that's folks. Even if you don't know how to play golf, come there to have fun. 80 people, I think tops will be 80. And you'll get 80 people easily. But people who want to have fun, just a little bit golf they know, come and have fun. Meet people, like-minded people. The best part about golf is at the end when everyone meets and you haven't seen a guy for 10 years. You're like, dude, you play golf too?
Right.
You're like, no, I play like you. I don't know how to play, but just came for fun.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a great, great tournament. And we call it a tournament, but I think it's going to be a fun time. Willow Fork Country Club, Westheimer, okay?
Yep.
And Katy, Texas. $800 for 4-person team. And it's charity, remember that? And it's a written off charity, I would imagine.
Yes,
you write a check.
fully deductible.
Fully deductible. And or $200 per individual, and you will probably put them in a team if they
Correct.
come single. I think that's what this girl is all about. No, I'm just kidding.
And we'll have a nice goodie bag. There's a dinner and award ceremony at the end. So
Yeah.
lots of good stuff.
And what I really like is that only for $20 you can buy 2 mulligans.
Yes.
Describe what a mulligan is, because I know it really well.
Right. So mulligan, it's actually very strategic to buy these mulligans, but it just means a do-over.
Yeah.
So if you have a bad shot like yours that went in the water,
yeah.
you pay $20 and you get to shoot it again.
Yeah.
This time don't get.
So you get 2 though. You get
two,
each.
just in case you go in the water again.
I like it. I know, right.
And so, but all this
I'm
goes
going
to
to teach
charity.
my ball how to swim. Maybe.
Good.
I'm just kidding. All right, and then you have a prize for the longest drive.
Yes.
Right? The
yes.
longest drive.
And this is usually on a par 5.
Okay. Hole
it'll-
18.
for the longest drive. And then we
Wow.
also have on the par 3s closest to the pin. So we'll have a prize for that.
What
And
do you
then,
mean closest to the pin?
like it's on the par 3s,
Yeah.
where it's
Okay.
less than 200 yards. Whoever hits
The
it
first
gets
shot.
first shot.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And then there's also a putting contest. It's
Okay.
usually a 20 or 30 foot putting to see who gets closest to the hole.
We can do that, man.
Yeah.
We can do putting, we can do. It's putt golf.
Yes, yeah.
We practice at putt golf. Both khela maine. Yeah, that we can do. And then there used to be a hole in one. What happened to that?
So you can do that if you
Yeah.
get a hole in one. You can
Well,
buy a car, or you could get a
buy
car.
a
One, you can. We've stayed away from that.
Yeah,
from,
I know. Yeah.
So, 'cause it
I
can
know
happen.
that. I know that. It can happen. And then do you have a first, second, and third place winners or teams?
Team winners. Team winners.
Is
yeah.
there? You want to reveal the prize or?
The prize is, there's trophies.
Okay.
It's
Ceremonial.
Yes, you actually get rounds of golf at Willow Fork if you
Not
win,
bad, not bad.
and then again, we'll throw in some tickets to the museum.
Fantastic. And the goodie bags contain what?
So we'll have golf balls with our logo.
Okay.
There's golf
Oh,
towels.
you're going to have a eternal EGM logos out
Yes,
there? That's
yes,
lovely.
on the golf ball. And then we'll have some towels, and then we'll have one more thing we're still looking at. It'll be a
Okay,
surprise.
yeah.
So, there'll be a few things there.
Fantastic. Folks, we talked about Mahatma Gandhi. This is one way of helping the museum, which obviously is going to be a fantastic thing in Houston. Charity golf tournament on October the 9th. And they can reach out to who?
They reach out to me, 713-829-6979, or go to egmh.org under events and go to golf. But just to let you know, last year it was highly successful. We raised about $45,000 at the golf tournament.
That is amazing.
Yeah, with players, with sponsors. We got Methodist to sponsor. We got Memorial Hermann to sponsor. St. Luke's to sponsor.
That is
And this is all going
amazing.
for a great cause. Like you
Yes.
said, we do have a deficit of $2 million, so we got to make it up.
We can
Dr.
make it
Wani,
up.
I was
We
just going, and I was actually just going on the website. It's actually fairly easy, and it's a really easy
nice.
website to navigate. I was just
great.
trying to see so that everybody can do that.
Fantastic. So that's October the 9th. Now we're going to go to October the 8th. Dr. Ali, it's your turn. Tell us a little bit more. Someone may have tuned in later on and a little later in the program. We're going to be doing what on October the 8th on behalf of Mahatma Gandhi ji?
So